Welcome to Climate Quickies, bite-sized nuggets of climate goodness from our TEDxLondon experts in under 5 minutes.
In this week's Climate Curious, recorded live at TED, we're talking firefighting with 12-year wildland firefighter veteran Royale Ramey. One of TED's 2024 fellows, Royale experienced firsthand the injustices of being a formerly incarcerated firefighter in California. So, he founded a non-profit to provide opportunities to people like him. Listen in to hear the incredible work he's doing at the intersection of climate and justice. Over to Royale. Stay curious.
We're really excited because today we get to speak to a new TED Fellow, part of the 2024 cohort, Royale Ramey. Can you just tell us a bit about yourself and what this organization is?
So the organization is called the Forestry and Fire Recruitment Program, and we sit in the intersection between workforce development, criminal justice, and the climate crisis.
Right. That's real intersectionality.
Right. So it was inspired by my co-founder, Brennan Smith, and I, because we actually went to prison and had the opportunity to fight wildland fires while incarcerated.
Okay.
And in that time, we fell in love with firefighting and wanted to pursue it as a career, but it was pretty much simply, made clear that prison and public service don't mix, right?
Interesting. So, I think a lot of people, I'm very ignorant about what is happening, especially in the US, in the prison system. So, while you were incarcerated, you were fighting fires, and this is something that you kind of fell in love with. But then, when you came out, you couldn't do the same thing. Or there was not a precedent for this.
Yeah, it wasn't a true pathway.
Right.
So California relies on incarcerated people to fight wildland fires. And because it saves, the state millions of dollars. When you have a person that's making now, it's $2 an hour fighting fire, they might be close or next to a person that's making 80 to 100K a year, benefits retirement, and pretty much doing that same piece of work, right? Because you have folks that's working as municipal firefighters. You have people work as wildland firefighters, but they make a pretty good, decent living, while they're out there, conducting these, fighting these fires. So it's a catch-22 because it's you learn the skills and the training while you're in prison, but it's not a really opportunity for folks to believe and know that they can become a wildland firefighter once they come home.
So for you and your co-founder who both experienced this,
yes,
what was different? How did you carve this path?
Honestly, it was, tenacity, commitment, persistence. Wanted to be committed to excellence, right? Unrepresented communities where, we weren't, pretty much introduced to wildland firefighting as a kid. That wasn't an option for us.
No.
So you have to go to prison, it seemed like, to be able to figure out that that's an option or that's something that you might be interested in. So I remember as a little boy just, looking out in the streets sometimes and just see these fire trucks pass back and forth, and I was like, I don't see nobody that looked like me,
Huh.
So, but when I got introduced to it, it was dope. It was something that I really wanted to, do and have a passion for. And I just all right, once we got that formula, we wanted to make sure we bring other folks along that had the same type of passion and commitment.
I mean, I have to say that wildfires really scare me. So I love that you were like, this is awesome. I want to be doing this all the time.
Right.
Let me switch gears for a second because not everyone listening is going to know the situation in California when it comes to wildfires. Will you just give us a little bit of an overview?
So, wildland fires have been devastating and increasingly a terror for California for almost 100 years now. And as time went on, it gets worse and worse. One of the things that is really a problem is the climate crisis piece, right? The environmental piece, the forestry piece around forest management and why is California on fire, right? And a lot of it is the forest is dense, but one of the major parts is that it's a personnel shortage. When it comes to wildland firefighting, it's not enough folks, right? So that's why they utilize incarcerated people. That saves millions of dollars, or save the state millions of dollars to make it happen. So But now it's like, right now you got 1,600 incarcerated people that's ready to fight fires now, but you got a 1,300 personnel shortage right now, and it's like, why are we not taking the folks that have the training and the skills to do it, right, and be able to give them a family winning career and reinvest in them, right, for them putting that hard work in and them sacrificing their lives, because every time you fight fire, it's a possibility you might not come home,
Right.
and everybody knows that. So
Yeah. Tell us a little bit about how you and your co-founder and this organization are creating that pathway for people.
So we created a career training program where it's an 8-week module, where 5 of those weeks they get all the certifications they need to get an entry-level position with the Forest Service or CAL FIRE. And the other 3 weeks is they go out into the field, right, to do fuel reduction projects. We remove hazardous trees from different locations, or a homeowner, say, per se, your forest. We do brush clearing, weed abatement,
Right.
do some wood chipping. So we're really proactive in the pre-treating or the prevention work when it comes to wildland firefighting, because you have a lot of homes that we want to protect, obviously. So that's what we do, and then we educate our participants in forestry management. They get an understanding of the ecological piece of it.
Right. That's incredible. How is this work being received, I guess, by the powers that be that do this hiring and do this work?
So we got a big breakthrough. So the California governor, Gavin Newsom, he passed this law. It's called AB 2147. It took me a while to learn it, right, and make it sound cool. Yeah. It pretty much states that anybody that's been in California conservation camps have the ability to get their record expunged, right? So you go to fire camp, you can be able to get your record expunged. It's really based on the judge's discretion, but it pretty much opened the door for folks to talk about it in the media and figure out, like, because everybody kept saying, like, that's slave labor, like forcing people to go and work on fires in prison and not getting paid and compensated is wrong, right? And it's been awesome. So
It's awesome. What is your ambition? Like, where do you want this to go? Like, what's the vision?
So here's another fun fact for you. So it's 14 other states
Okay.
in the United States that utilize incarcerated people to
Right.
fight
Not just
wildland
California.
fires. Not just California. So obviously that's something that I think about constantly, right? Of a person in the cell in Colorado, a person that's in fire camp in Oregon, like being able to help those folks would be ideal for me, and being able to take our motto and kind of pilot it in different areas. It's not a 9 to 5.
Right.
This is 24/7. You're a public servant. And it's like, those are the things that we have to like instill into people. That's where leadership comes in. That's where that mentorship comes in, and being able to really pour into people and like believe in folks. Because just because you made a mistake once in your life doesn't mean that we should throw you away, right? Like, but it's not for everybody either. Firefighting is a tough job. It's mentally, emotionally, physically taxing. But I believe that folks that want to pursue it should have the opportunity to make it happen. So, and that's what I believe to know, and I prove it myself. And now we helped over 200 people get jobs in the fire service, which we're very proud of.
Thank you so much for sharing this like vision and your like heart with us. It really is incredible to see.
Thank you. I appreciate you. Thank you.
Thanks for listening to this quickie.
This episode was created by our superstar podcast team at TEDxLondon. Until next time.
Stay curious.